It seems like the rivalry between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier has officially been reignited, and let's be honest, these two will probably never stop hating each other. The latest chapter in their saga kicked off when Jon Jones took a trip over to Chechnya, which is the hometown of the one and only Khamzat Chimaev, and he was seen spending some quality time there, really soaking in the culture.
I own a rent-free mansion in your head for the rest of your life. I want to take the time out to say a happy Thanksgiving to the people who are not with their friends and family today. Happy Thanksgiving. And if no one tells you that they love you, I love you. Have a blessed day.
However, things took a turn when a video surfaced of Jon Jones absolutely loving and praising the local Chechen food. Seeing this, Daniel Cormier just couldn't resist taking a shot, and he jumped into the comments to ask a very pointed question: why isn't Jon Jones with his family during the Thanksgiving holiday? It was a clear jab designed to get under Jones's skin, and as you're about to see, it worked perfectly.
I own a rent-free mansion in your head for the rest of your life. I want to take the time out to say a happy Thanksgiving to the people who are not with their friends and family today. Happy Thanksgiving. And if no one tells you that they love you, I love you.
Of course, Jon Jones wasn't gonna let that slide, and he fired right back at Daniel Cormier, declaring that he lives completely rent-free inside DC's mind and he's there indefinitely. In a clever move, he also took a moment to extend his own Thanksgiving wishes to anyone else who might be spending the holiday away from their loved ones, adding a touch of class to his otherwise sharp-edged clapback.
It's a more matter of legacy. What would make more sense?
Yep.
Do you fight the guy who is impressive right now, who no one, I don't think, is going to really care about a few years from now? Or do you fight the guy who's going to be remembered around the world for a very long time? I mean, in Brazil, Pereira is an absolute idol right now. Pereira, literally, one of the only things he says is trauma.
Yeah.
And people are, no one even knows what it means.
Yeah.
But he has that it factor, and that's a part of the reason why I wanted to compete against Pereira. The brand that he represents, the energy that he has behind him, will be remembered more than just 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Aspinall just had a close fight, and people are already writing him off.
Yeah.
And then Jon Jones really went in mocking Daniel Cormier by saying how absolutely absurd it is that years after getting beaten, DC is still spending his holidays thinking about what Jones is up to. He called it a long-term rental with utilities included. Jones laid it out perfectly, saying, "Imagine a man getting his ass kicked and years later he's still pondering how I spend my holidays. Brother, that's not a concern, that's a long-term rental. Utilities included." Jones didn't stop there, continuing to poke fun at DC by suggesting he might send him one of those big telegram gifts, so Cormier could actually focus on enjoying his own holiday instead of obsessing over him, and he even tagged the Telegram CEO Pavel Durov. On another note, Jones is also making it clear he's interested in fighting Alex Pereira on the UFC's potential White House card. He explained that choosing Pereira over Tom Aspinall is all about legacy. He's looking for a monumental matchup that will be remembered for decades, not just a fight that looks impressive for a moment. For Jones, Pereira is a massive star with a unique presence that creates a lasting impact, adding that unlike other fighters whose relevance fades quickly, Pereira's influence will endure for years to come.
Hey man, we gotta have some Americans win.
Yes.
I don't like Jon Jones. It's no secret. The whole world knows it.
You're right.
I say, man, y'all better put Jon Jones on there. Because right now we ain't got one American in the top 10 pound for pound. I say, if y'all want an American dude to go get a victory, put Jon Jones in there. Because he gonna win. That's what he does.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I still don't believe, and I agree with DJ, it's like, you just can't have that tied to your name, especially in fighting.
Right.
And people call you the greatest of all time.
Now, this might sound completely unbelievable, but in a strange twist, Daniel Cormier actually wants to see Jon Jones fight on that White House card too. According to DC, it's absolutely crucial that there's a major American champion or star headlining the White House card to represent the country. And when you look at the current landscape, he admits that right now there is simply no bigger or better option than his old rival Jon Jones. It's a rare moment of agreement born out of national pride, even if it's about a potential fight at the White House.
With Pereira, I would just have to be, I'd have to be smart. I'd have to be really smart. I would have to use what's in front of me. The main thing, the biggest difference between Pereira and Aspinall is the level of footage that I have. Pereira posts everything. you know, every spar session. I have a whole kickboxing career to study from. I have a pretty decent resume in MMA to watch now. Just take things from, I feel like Pereira's really stuck in a certain way of fighting, where he could really show, he has tendencies in his combinations, tendencies in his counters and in his defense, and it will be my job to find the holes inside of those tendencies.
Jon Jones also gave a little insight into his potential strategy for a fight against the formidable Alex Pereira, saying it's all about being smart and using exactly what's in front of him. He points out that the biggest difference between preparing for Pereira and preparing for someone like Tom Aspinall is the sheer wealth of footage available on Pereira. We're talking about countless sparring clips and his entire legendary kickboxing career. Jones plans to meticulously study all of Pereira's combinations, his counters, and his defensive habits to identify any openings that he can exploit once they are locked inside the cage.
I really have gotten to a point in fighting where I feel as if I'm in a position that I have a lot more to lose than to gain. That's just me being honest. That's not being a coward or whatever. That's just the truth. I'm almost 40 years old now in a combat sport, a very physical sport.
Yeah.
I have to do things that make the right decision, you know, and fighting just to continue fighting doesn't make sense to me anymore. I feel as if I can earn money outside of punching people.
Yeah.
And to challenge myself in that way means more to me now than to fight again. But to be at the White House is the reason why I'm out of retirement. It has nothing to do with Aspinall or Pereira or anybody. It was the White House. The idea of being a part of something so historical means more to me than a few extra $1 million or another win in the win column.
Yeah.
It means the world to me.
Meanwhile, Jon Jones also shed some light on why he turned down a reported $30 million fight offer against Tom Aspinall. He explained that at nearly 40 years old, the risks associated with that fight simply outweighed the potential rewards. He made it crystal clear that his comeback from retirement isn't being driven by a desire to face Aspinall or even Alex Pereira specifically. It's driven entirely by the historic legacy-defining chance to fight at the White House.
Follow the light all the way down.
I'm trying. I know it's slow. Yeah, that's
Definitely.
It's still 1, but if you moved it a centimetre that way, now it's 2.
Yeah, so it's extreme gaze, right? Yeah, it's very obvious. So when he's looking up and in, the left eye is going up and in extremely well.
Yeah.
The right eye is kind of stopping. You see how the right eye is just not as high up as the left, and it's not as turning to the left as the left eye is. And that's a restriction. So the eye wants to go and he wants to track it, but the more I do this, the more he's going to start aching in that upper inner aspect. And what he's going to do is, if he's in a fight situation, he's not going to be dealing with it. He doesn't want the ache in the eye, and he also doesn't want to have double. So what he's going to do is tilt his head.
Shifting gears to the other side of the heavyweight division, Tom Aspinall has shared a video of a recent medical checkup where a doctor explained the true severity of his eye issue. The doctor didn't mince words, describing it as an extreme case. He noted that while Aspinall's left eye moves normally, his right eye significantly lags behind when he tries to look up and inward. This restriction causes real discomfort in the upper inner area of the eye. The doctor then explained that in a fight, Aspinall would be forced to naturally tilt his head to compensate and avoid pain and double vision, making it fundamentally unsafe for him to continue competing in that condition.
So how long till I can train properly, spar?
It's a long road ahead, but the prognosis is guarded at the moment. I would recommend that you wouldn't fight until your double vision is resolved for 2 reasons. One, it could potentially make things worse and set you back even further, or that you're training because you're still having double vision looking into the periphery, you wouldn't be at your peak.
The doctor also laid out just how long Tom might need to remain inactive from the sport. He strongly advised that Tom should not even think about fighting until his double vision is 100% resolved, warning him that coming back too soon could seriously worsen the condition and completely set back his recovery. He also noted that even trying to train while still experiencing double vision would make it impossible for Tom to perform at his peak, especially when it comes to tracking movement and seeing things in his periphery.
Can we get full-time Bully Aspinall after this smear campaign? How are you going to be on the comeback?
Mate, when I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Nice Tom. When it comes to MMA, he's gone. And I'm going full bad guy, I think.
However, despite this clear medical diagnosis, some fans still criticized him for not continuing his fight against Cyril Gane, and it's clear that Tom Aspinall has finally grown frustrated with all the negativity. Tom has now declared that he won't be returning to the UFC as the good guy anymore. Instead, he plans to come back as the bad guy, fully embracing a more aggressive, unapologetic persona that he's calling Bully Tom.
Findings, okay? Confirmed clinical findings by eye doctors in hospitals. Everybody's still out there maybe saying, this is fake, this is such bullshit. We ain't accepting apologies, dude. You're on that side, you're on that side. You want to be one of them, you're on one of them. Okay? I still see people on Twitter saying, this is ChatGPT. This ain't ChatGPT, dude. What do you think this is? He's cooking up a fake little thing to type down, fake doctor's notes to put up on his Instagram. This is the heavyweight champ we're talking about here, dude. This is Bully Tom Aspinall. Real ones will remember the day the MMA community exposed themselves as two-faced and switched up on Tom after he got fouled by Cyril Gane. One of the top comments right here, we will always remember.
The MMA guru reacted very strongly to Tom Aspinall's confirmed medical report, absolutely blasting anyone who had the audacity to suggest he faked the injury. He pointed out that certified doctors verified the damage and mocked the ridiculous claims that the report was somehow AI generated. The guru stressed that a fighter of Tom's caliber isn't out here falsifying medical documents. He called out all the fans who doubted the champion after the illegal foul from Cyril Gane. He added that the true supporters will never forget how a portion of the MMA community exposed itself by questioning the heavyweight champion after such a clear illegal poke, with the clinical evidence now confirming everything Tom said.
You know, Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so who gives it?
What do you think about Dana White saying Tom didn't continue? And then also, who gives it to eye pokes?
Well, listen, I didn't continue. I'll tell you why I didn't continue. Because I'm not a dummy. Like, I'm not going to go out there and fight one of the best strikers in the world if I can't see.
With double vision?
With any eye. As an MMA fighter, look, things are going to happen in the fight that compromise you. Go back and watch my fight with Arlovski. The end of the first round, he punched me right in the eyeball. For the rest of that fight, I couldn't see him out that eye. That's fine. If you get punched or kicked in the eye, that's fine.
Tom Aspinall also shared his immense frustration with Dana White's statement that he didn't want to continue, clarifying that his decision was entirely about safety, not about hesitation. He explained that trying to fight a top-tier striker while suffering from double vision is just extremely dangerous in the world of MMA. He brought up his past bout with Alexei Oleinik, noting that even a clean eye poke in that fight was manageable, but the severe vision issues he faced against Gane made it absolutely impossible to go on.
Things need to change in the sport of MMA when it comes to fouls. I'm obviously very keen to get back and beat this guy up. I've got to be 100% right, so whenever the eye's good to go, that's when I'll do it. A lot of haters out there who are living some very sad lives, who think they're eye doctors. I'll double eye poke you full blast in the eyes and see if you can still write some grim comment on Instagram. You let me know, you tough guys out there.
Moreover, Tom Aspinall is insisting that the sport of MMA must find a way to improve how fouls, especially eye pokes, are managed, since they have the power to change the outcome of a fight in an instant. He's eager for a rematch with Cyril Gane, but only when his vision is fully healed, stating plainly that he needs to fix his eyes before he can even think about returning to the cage. He also pushed back hard against the online critics, noting that far too many people are speaking like they're eye specialists without having any real understanding of the injury or what he's been going through behind the scenes.
The UFC have got some rules. That what will it take to change those rules? Will it take somebody's eye being poked and falling on the floor? I don't know if that's a thing. I'm sure it's not, but what does it take? And is it the money that, you know, people won't watch the fights because they're not as exciting, because the gloves are not as good? I don't know the answer. The old Pride gloves were different, but something, from my point of view, needs to be done in the sport to stop happening what happened on Saturday night in Tom's fight.
And it's not just Tom calling for change. His father, Andy Aspinall, has publicly urged the UFC to enforce much stricter rules against eye poke injuries. He heavily criticized the existing regulations as completely inadequate and questioned whether it would take a truly serious incident like a fighter being permanently injured and unable to continue to finally prompt a real change. He emphasized how important it is to take action now to prevent situations like what happened to his son from ever happening again.
We don't kick each other in the UFC. We don't kick each other to the head when the opponent is on the ground. because we lose. Because they have a very good track record of penalizing people that do so. I believe that if we brought in fines, right? Hey, the warning is in the back. Like, if you're going to take my money away, I'm going to make sure that my hands are closed when I'm reaching out. I'm going to make sure that I don't poke somebody in the eye if you're going to take my money away. But like, they're not even they're not really penalizing people, you know? And the thing is a lot of the time when somebody gets poked in the eye, their chances of victory are super slim. Like, the person that gets poked in the eye very, very rarely wins.
The veteran voice of Jim Miller also chimed in, proposing that the UFC should implement fines to prevent eye pokes. He explained his logic, saying that monetary penalties would directly encourage fighters to control their hands better and strike more safely, which would naturally lower the chances of them accidentally hitting an opponent's eyes.
And who do you think wins, Tom Aspinall or Ciryl Gane? They're probably gonna do a rematch. Who do you think wins?
I don't know. I think the Tom Aspinall, a little worried about Ciryl Gane, and this fight is looking amazing, looking more other level. Can Aspinall expect? And I see that Jab connected like a very good. And I see that Tom Aspinall like a taste the blood too early in the round. I think that for that reason, him like a push it like a try not fight no more after the poke the eye.
So you think that if they meet again, you think Ciryl wins?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Meanwhile, fellow UFC heavyweight Waldo Cortez Acosta believes that Ciryl Gane will be the one to win the eventual rematch against Tom Aspinall. He pointed out that Gane looked absolutely exceptional in their last fight, performing on a higher level and landing his jab very effectively. Cortez Acosta added that in his opinion, Aspinall may have been hurt early in that round and seemed hesitant to continue moving forward aggressively after the eye poke occurred.
The only thing I'm about, like I said, is not getting the opportunity to fight against Volkanovski. I know he's going to retire after this, so I've always wanted to, since I got signed to the UFC in 2019, my goal was to choke Volkanovski. That's when he became champion. So the last 6 years, I know he got beat by Topuria, but the last 6 years, my aim's been Volkanovski. I need to get to that level. That's my goal. That's been repeating in my head when I'm training, whatever. But to get that tip, that's the only thing I'm bothered about. I'm not bothered about the money and whatnot. I want to fight against Volkanovski. I want to say I beat Volkanovski. That's it.
Alright, let's switch gears for a moment because it seems that for possibly the first time ever, the featherweight division is shaping up to be even more interesting than the heavyweight division. There is an absolute ton of drama going on at 45 pounds. Diego Lopez has been granted another title shot within a single year, while several top contenders are still stuck waiting in line. Lerone Murphy, for one, has expressed his deep frustration with the UFC's matchmaking, saying the only thing that's really upsetting him is missing his chance to fight Alexander Volkanovski. Since joining the UFC in 2019, Volk had been his one and only target, the fight he structured all of his training and goals around. Even after Volk lost the belt, Murphy's focus remained locked on that specific matchup. He added that for him, it was never about the money, it was about proving he could step into that cage and beat Volkanovski.
Make of the tweets from Diego once the news came out. There were a couple here. Here's one: take the risks, accept the fights they're offering you, do a good job and presentation. This is translation, so probably means promotion there. And then we'll talk mustache season is coming, see you in Australia. And then I do believe there was another one saying, my face when I saw everyone crying, sitting around, he won't give you a title fight, get to work and stop whining on social media. Do you think that was directed at you?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care either. I'm not crying. And you can't tell me to get to work. I've got 9 fights in a row, won. So no one can tell me to get to work. I fought whoever the UFC has given me. I've not ducked fights. I've said yes. And in my opinion, I've done the UFC a favour, taking the Pico fight on 3 weeks' notice. He's a dangerous guy. I believe he's top 5 in the division for sure. I feel like he's one of the best.
Lerone Murphy fired back directly at Diego Lopez and told the rest of the featherweights to get to work. He said that nobody can question his resume after he's won 9 straight fights and faced every single opponent the UFC has offered him. He pointed out that he has consistently helped the promotion, even taking on dangerous opponents on short notice, proving that he's more than earned his shot and has done more than enough to be in the title conversation.
Did you guys see the new UFC card? Super disappointing. Message to Dana White and the UFC. Arman Sarukian 100% deserved the title shot, and UFC's becoming into a more cartoonish WWE. It's embarrassing. Why does Diego Lopez get 2 title shots after Movsar Evloev beat him? Movsar's undefeated. Diego Lopez already got the title shot in front of Movsar when he shouldn't have, and you're going to give him 2 shots? Movsar needs a title shot. Arman needs a title shot.
Adding another voice to the chaos, popular streamer Sneeko heavily criticized the UFC's matchmaking, specifically questioning why Diego Lopez received a second title shot after having lost to Movsar. He argued passionately that the undefeated Movsar is the one who clearly deserves the next opportunity to fight for the belt.
If Diego Lopez and Volk rematch, which they are, Diego wins that fight. I love Volk, but do you guys understand that Volk got saved twice that fight? He won 4-1, yes. Lopez also, he couldn't see his family. That was mental. Number 2, he didn't get knocked out, and he got 2 knockdowns on Volk.
On the other hand, Adam Ross also shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch, predicting that it will be Diego Lopez who comes out victorious this time. He confidently believes Lopez will defeat the former featherweight king, Alex Volkanovski, and finally claim the title for himself. Ross clarified that he still has immense respect for Volkanovski, but pointed out that Volk was arguably saved twice in their first fight, whereas Lopez had significant moments, including knockdowns, which makes him much more confident that Lopez will get the job done in the rematch.
But Patty versus Justin Gaethje announced at halftime. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunez. I'm not even the co-main, dude. I am falling off hard. This is, god damn it. This is.
I seen that.
This was me. This is me. What's next? Prelims?
Early.
Jesus, early prelims. God damn it, it's not going good.
You're fighting in Great Falls again.
I'm about to be fighting at ICF in Great Falls. The stock of the Sugar Show is down bad right now. It's not good. It's not looking good.
Meanwhile, the bantamweight king, Sean O'Malley, also reacted to the upcoming UFC 35 fight card, which he is a part of. However, he expressed some comical frustration at being scheduled as only the 3rd fight from the top on the card. He joked that he feels like he's falling off hard, and sarcastically wondered if his next fights are going to be on the prelims.
Sugar second round KO.
Sugar second round KO. I like that 15-minute fight. People are like, why isn't it 5 rounds? I'm like, I wanted it to be 2. I asked UFC, I said, hey, what do you think about this? 2 round, 3 minutes. They're like, no. I'm like, fine, 3 5s, whatever. It is weird. My last 4 fights were title fights. Last 4 camps were 5-round camps. It was a lot, man. It was a lot. So 3-round camp, super excited. Probably do a 3-week fight camp, 1 week for each round. Right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm excited about that. We're back. We're back.
In another interesting reveal, Sean O'Malley said that he actually wanted his fight with Song Yadong to be just 2 rounds long. He explained that he went to the UFC and asked about a special shorter format, specifically 2 rounds at 3 minutes each, but the promotion ultimately declined his unusual request. And that, fight fans, officially wraps up today's video. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into all the latest drama and news. Let us know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. Who wins between Jones and Pereira? And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more daily MMA updates and reactions.